Today we will be extending our knowledge of land and water forms by creating our own peninsula and our own gulf. A peninsula is a portion of land extending into the water and almost surrounded by water. Notice at the edges though, it's not all the way around it. And a gulf is a portion of ocean, the blue is the ocean, that extends into the land. The brown is the land and is bounded on three sides of the land. So this is one side, this is two sides of land, this is three sides of land, okay? So a gulf has to be bounded or be surrounded by three pieces of land, okay? The peninsula and the gulf. In order for us to make our own peninsula and gulf, we're going to need the same materials that we've used before. Remember, we had already had some brown and blue squares cut out. The brown or green, if you're using green, represent the land. So brown or green paper will represent the land. And the blue paper represents the water. If you don't have any squares still cut out, I want you this time, I'm going to use green for the land. Well, for the project, I'm going to continue for consistency to use brown for my land. But for cutting purposes, I'm going to show you just two pieces of paper, the blue for the water, the green for the land, what you need to do. So you are going to take your two pieces of paper, keep them together, make sure they're even on all sides, and you're going to fold your paper like a hot dog. That means that this side matches both long sides of the paper, I guess, will match. And then you're going to take your finger and rub it against the edge. Some of you, your hands are smaller than mine, so you might need to put it on the table and then run. Can you see it? And then run your fingers across the edge like that. Okay? So now this is a hot dog. Remember, it's the long way. Now you're going to fold it in half. So take this edge and we're going to meet it to this edge and we're going to make it into a hamburger. That means it's going to be a smaller rectangle. So I'm going to get those two sides to meet where they're even. I'm going to put this down on the table. So see how, make sure you can see it. This edge just comes to there. And then you can take your fingers or your hand, hold it down with one, and then with the other hand, you are going to push it down. Okay, and I'm going to run my hand along the crease. And then I'm even going to pick it up and run my fingers along the crease because we want to make sure that we can see the lines, these crease lines, so we know where to cut the paper. Okay, open it up. See the crease lines? I'm going to keep both papers together. Take your scissors. And cut along the edge. Now, I guess this time I did not tell you the materials that we need. So we're going to go back and tell you all the materials that we're going to need to complete this project. Same materials that we've used before. I'm going to go ahead, put them together by the crease. Make sure that they are matching on all sides and cut again on the crease. Okay. And then you should have, I believe, 8 squares. Okay. So now for this project, we were going to need, starting out with one piece of brown paper and one piece of brown or blue paper and, or I'm sorry, 1 piece of green or blue paper. That's still not right. 1 piece of green or brown paper, which represents the land, and 1 piece of blue paper, which represents the water. Okay, that's why I'm going to put the green down so I don't confuse myself or you. Okay, so you needed the paper that we're going to cut. You needed your scissors, a glue stick, a paper clip is optional. You don't have to have it. It could help keep your papers together. A pencil, pen, or a marker to be able to create your labels. We'll need a label that says Peninsula, and we'll need a label that says Gulf. And for many of you, I know that you cannot write yet, so you can ask an adult to write Peninsula and Gulf for you. We are okay with that. Okay, so to get started, I'm back to my brown paper for my land to be consistent with my land form so that I don't get confused. So you're going to need 2 brown rectangles, 2 brown rectangles, and 2 blue rectangles. Somehow I have 1 left. I'm not sure how, but we're going to put that to the side. We don't need that. Then you are going, and then these 2, 1 brown and 1 blue, or 1 for land, brown or green, and 1 blue for water. We're going to put that to the side. We don't need that right now. You're going to take your 1 blue and 1 brown rectangle, put them on top of each other. Now you can just hold it together as you rip it, or if it's easier for you, you can put a paper clip on it near the top. Okay, so they are flush. One is on top of the other. Now we are going to rip. Look at the peninsula. Look at the Gulf. We are going to rip a long space, kind of like a tongue. So you can, if you like, you can draw it on here. You know, just start at the bottom, go down and up, or you can rip it yourself. So let me show you what, if you decide to draw it, you're going to be wide at the bottom. So start in one of the corners. Oh, you can't see. Start at one of the corners, not all the way at the corner, but very close to the corner. And then just go up, just like you're drawing a tongue. Okay? Go to the top, go over a little bit, and then come down. I don't know if you can see that. This is a light pencil. Just like it's a tongue, when you get to the bottom, though, you're going to make it get a little wide. Okay? Can you see that? And it doesn't even have to be that even, because the peninsula does have a little bit of shape to it. All right, I'm going to put my pencil down. And now I'm going to rip, and I'm going to rip on the outside of that line. Again, you don't have to do the line. You can just freeform and just rip it on your own. Okay, holding with your pincers. You're going to hold it, and you're going to rip on the outside of the line. So one finger, these 2 fingers are pinching the paper, and this one is actually ripping. And as I rip, I'm going to move my finger down. Okay? And it does not have to be, you don't want to cut it. You want it to be somewhat uneven, just like land. Land isn't a perfect anything. So I'm going to rip and rip, and notice I'm ripping slowly. I'm taking my time. And I'm ripping slowly, a little bit at a time. I rip and then re-grasp. Rip and then re-grasp. All right, and remember, it doesn't have to be really, really neat, or it doesn't have to be like a straight line, just as long as it's somewhat shaped like a tongue. Okay, and we're still, notice I'm still holding both papers together. All right, so I have those two pieces ripped out. I'm going to take my paper clip off. These two, the paper that I have ripped from, we no longer need that. So we can go ahead and put that to the side. We don't need that. We'll have these two. All right. They mirror each other. I'm going to go back, grab your blue for your water, the water of your peninsula. And then we're going to grab your brown or green for the land of your Gulf. Okay. Now you have these two. We're going to turn it over. The side that if you decided to use a pencil or something to draw on the blue, that's the side we're gonna glue on. So turn it over. Okay. Here's my brown. My brown represents my land. I'm going to turn that over. This edge, make sure it matches the edge of my blue. And I'm going to place it down just like that. Okay. That is my peninsula. Okay, and remember this, the blue should mirror the water of the Gulf should mirror the land of the peninsula. We're going to place that right there on top of the brown. If that looks like a good peninsula for you, then we're going to glue it down. Okay. So I'm going to take my glue stick, pick up the brown, put glue on the land for the peninsula. All right, you don't need a whole lot. Just make sure the edges, it has glue on it. Again, make sure this edge meets the edge of the paper. I'm going to lay that part down first. Rub it down with my finger. And then rub the land from my peninsula down. Okay, so our peninsula is done. Or sort of. We need to put the label on it. Then you're going to put glue on the water for your Gulf. Remember I said to glue on the side that you had used your pencil for, if you used a pencil. If you didn't, then you don't have to worry about hiding the pencil line. Okay, so I have put glue on the water for my, did I get that? Let me make sure I get it on the corner. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this edge meets that edge for my Gulf. I'm going to lay the edge down first, and then I'm going to press down the whole thing. So now we have a peninsula and a Gulf. Oh, now I'm going to have to make my labels a little smaller. So I'm not going to glue my peninsula label on yet. For my Gulf, I think I might want to make it smaller too, because I want you to be able to see the whole thing. Okay, so I will glue those on later. And that's it. So we have a peninsula. Our peninsula, the peninsula is a portion of land. The brown is your land, or green if that's what you used, extending into the water. The water is blue, And this land is almost surrounded by water. See, on 3 sides, there's water. 1, 2, 3 sides. This makes a peninsula. This is our Gulf. The Gulf is a portion of ocean, to the ocean, that extends onto the land. So it goes into the land and it's bounded on 3 sides by land. This side, 1, 2, 3. So this water from the ocean is surrounded by 3 sides of land. And this is a Gulf. Okay, now don't forget, put these two, put your peninsula and your Gulf with the other land and water forms that we have created. We've already created a cape, a bay, an island, and a lake. And so now we're going to put the peninsula and the Gulf with them, keep them together, because when we're all done, we're going to make a book.